Ranganathan, I want to ask you, why on earth should the relatives of the fallen braves of the 1971 war have to salute the memory of an unknown soldier when their loss was clearly definable to them as a civilian? You would find that particularly odious. The state doesn't even dignify the death of a loved one, of an honorable soldier, by listing his sacrifice, his name. And that has, of course, been done at the National War Memorial. So why shouldn't that really be the site of any future commemorations?
Good evening, Rahul, and good evening to all my panelists. I realize immediately that I'm in a very exalted company, and the war heroes, and I'm among them. So as I reiterate that I speak as a civilian, as you said. And of course, the experts are the three other esteemed panelists. But Rahul, I have said this before, and I have to repeat this: that if Rahul Gandhi was the captain of the Titanic, he would have steered the ship all night long in search of an iceberg to collide with. I mean, the kind of things he outrages on, it is just mind-boggling. I mean, in this case, the ridiculousness of this comes closest to what a leftist magazine once lamented the construction of Swachh Bharat toilets because, in its opinion, it would have prevented, village women bonding at 6 a.m. in the fields. This is as ridiculous as that. I mean, does Rahul Gandhi seriously believe that the head of a nationalist party that almost venerates the Jawans to an exceeding length would be so petty as to extinguish an Amar Jawan Jyoti in full view of 1.3 billion people? Does he honestly believe that Narendra Modi would do that? Now let me harp on two issues as a common civilian. Number one, General Dua and General Malik and Mr. Raza Major Raza has already, throughout the day harped on the sheer illogic of the outrage. But let me reiterate that the fact of the matter is that Amar Jawan Jyoti came into being only in 1971. The National War Memorial has etched the names of all our martyrs right from World War I to 1948 to 62 to 65 to 71 to Kargil and so on and so forth. So it is the logical and rational and rightful home of the eternal flame. Secondly, as General Malik just said, rightly so, that if you want to remember the martyrs of 1971, their names, as the families would lovingly want to do, the logical place for that and the veneration of our war heroes would be National War Memorial. So it is the logical home of that. Plus, the flames have been merged. They have not been extinguished. So Rahul Gandhi has been wrong on all counts. Now, very briefly, Rahul, just to come back to, and there is no political spokesperson of Congress party, but I need to, so otherwise I would have asked these three questions to him or her. But here I leave it to your viewers to ponder over these three questions. Number one, why did it take till 2019, when decades had gone into the planning of the National War Memorial? Why did it take till 2019 and Modi to come for the National War Memorial to be made? Number two, let me couple it with Subhash Chandra Bose's statue that is going to now adorn the canopy at India Gate. Why did it take till 1965 for King George V's statue to be removed? From 1947 to 1965, it was under that very canopy, and we had gained independence. Why did it take till 1965, the entire term of Jawaharlal Nehru? King George V was actually glancing over all the Republic Day parades. What can be more shameful than that? And finally, why did it take till 2019 for INA veterans, Indian National Army veterans, to be allowed to participate in the Republic Day parade? These are the three questions which Rahul Gandhi and all his followers should be answering tonight.
I think he's worked himself into such the margins of Indian polity that I don't even know if I take some of his remarks seriously anymore. But that, of course, is for the viewers to judge. Viewers are more than welcome to take on board the barbs that are sallied forth by Rahul Gandhi. You might take them seriously. In this particular context, viewers, I think that he was completely off the ball. I want to bring in Maruf Raza. Forget the politics for the moment. Let's focus on the optics, the symbolism. Actually, forget the optics also. Maruf Raza, let's focus for a few moments on the symbolism. I heard you in the morning. You were not somebody who enthusiastically welcomed this. Why, Maruf, if I'm right?
Wonderful debate, and as a civilian, as a common man, it's been wonderful to hear all the views. And I must say that even though Grenadier Officer Raza's views are at variance with mine, I'm very happy to accept that I think he is more in the right than I am. And I give you two reasons for that. Number one, he has a point when he says that when you remove the flame or merge the flame from Amar Jawan Jyoti, that is also consecrating and honoring the World War I martyrs, there would be no flame there. Plus, it is also a fact which is quite shocking to me that we have not consecrated or honored our World War II martyrs. So, General Dua is no longer with us, unfortunately, but I was going to suggest as a civilian that one solution to come out of this, which I may suggest, is because General Dua was involved in the design of the National War Memorial, to actually inscribe the names of every World War I and World War II martyrs in the National War Memorial. And then nobody can have any objection to one eternal flame being just at the National War Memorial. That was the suggestion that I wanted to make.
Sure. Fair enough. At this moment, of course, that remains an aspiration, which we must, viewers, we must, if we really believe in honoring our braves, we must fulfill. Now, I want to bring in Shahzad Poonawalla, General Bakshi.
नहीं होता सर.
Navita, can I please have my say? Yeah, thank you. Navita, the irony is that the Prime Minister is absolutely right that there has been over the last 7 years a concerted effort to malign India and his government. But the irony is that he and his government has done the least to expose this narrative. The Congress is a master at deception, but the BJP is a disaster at perception. You remember straight from 2014-15, the fake church attacks. It took the government a month and a half to come up with the data that as many churches were attacked during the UPA as were during the NDA, and most of them were normal burglary. But for 1.5 months, it was the cries were that there is going to be a civil war. Christians are under attacks. These banner headlines, if you remember. BJP has been late to exposing each and every one of these propagandas. And let me tell you, give you very briefly 3 examples, जो कि अभी घनश्याम जी भी लिए हैं, आपने भी लिए हैं. CAA को ले लीजिए. क्या आपको पता है कि CAA सबसे पहले डिमांड किसने किया था? कांग्रेस का रेजोल्यूशन है 2015 में. They demanded citizenship for Bangladeshi minorities. Bangladeshi minority कौन है? मुस्लिम तो नहीं है ना, हिंदूज ही है. Number 2, farm laws. किसके मैनिफेस्टो में थे? कांग्रेस के मैनिफेस्टो में थे. लाइन कौन हुआ? मोदी एंटी फार्मर, मोदी एंटी मुस्लिम. आप हर चीज उठा लीजिए. सेंट्रल विस्टा प्लान कांग्रेस का, बुलेट ट्रेन कांग्रेस का आइडिया, GST कांग्रेस का. हर चीज कांग्रेस करती है, लेकिन उसको प्रेस अच्छी मिलती है, बाहर के प्रेस, लेकिन मोदी को प्रेस बुरा मिलती है. द ट्रेजेडी इज दैट यू मे हेट मोदी एज फाइन, आई एम ऑल राइट विद इट. You hate Modi, but the problem is hatred for Modi has transmogrified into hatred for India.
And that's
here
the problem.
I agree with Pathan.
Well, Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi, I'm